Welcome back to Self-Built, another training video for you. Today we're going to be hitting legs. We're only going to use one piece of gym equipment. It's going to be the Smith machine. We're going to be hitting quads, hams, and glutes, all from one thing. I'm going to do some different variations and setups with it, but essentially we're just going to use one piece of equipment. I'm going to show you that you can get a great workout and not need to have a whole gym full of equipment. Some of the things I'm going to show you, you may need to build if you don't have, but they're very easy and simple. I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's get into this. First exercise are Smith stiff-legged deadlifts. I'm going to do a little bit of a narrower foot placement. It's about shoulder width. With it being a Smith machine, it's on a fixed track range of motion, so you kind of have to adjust yourself to it when you're doing certain exercises. So certain things might not traditionally look good when you're doing barbell motion compared to Smith machine, but you just have to feel it out. When I pick up the weight, I've got my knees bent slightly and I'm already engaging my hamstrings, so it'll really help me keep that muscle-mind connection. And then slowly go down. I like to keep my weight on my heels, slowly going, just stretching. Keep your back straight, and then come back on up. I'm still squeezing. I'm putting my body away from the bar, just decreases my leverage, makes it a little harder, and it just helps me feel it on my hamstrings a little bit more. Here's a different angle just so you can kind of see how far I'm letting the bar go. But go as far as your hamstrings will let you. Once you start to feel a deep stretch, that's about as far as you want to go. Second exercise for hamburgers is we're going to do stiff-legged deadlifts, but we're just doing one leg at a time. It's going to look really familiar from the first exercise, but trust me, it feels quite different. I place my foot in the middle of the bar, and then I'll do a pretty wide grip just for extra stability, and then just go down nice and easy. Make sure you feel out the weight first, because you don't want to overload your one leg. You get a crazy stretch and squeeze doing this. I like doing unilateral training because you can also just focus on your leg or whatever you're training so much better. Whew. Hams are done. Now we're going to move to glutes. I know when people do legs, it's pretty common to do quads first, but in my personal experience, I really like doing hams and glutes first before quads. Feels a lot more comfortable, gets my blood going, and I'm warm, my joints feel better, and I just feel like I get a better pump. So if you've never tried that, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. Next, what we're going to do for glutes is what I call butt squats. This is something you can only really do on Smith machines. This exercise is really taking advantage of a Smith machine. I've got my feet pretty forward, so I'm leaning on this barbell. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight up and down like it's a normal squat, except the only difference is instead of using all of my legs, all I'm doing are squeezing my butt cheeks. That's all I'm doing. So right now I've already got my butt cheeks going, and you're going to just let it go down nice and slow. Focus on your glutes the whole time, and you're going to get the craziest stretch. Just go as deep as you can comfortably. Keep that tension still going. And then all the way back up. Don't release tension. And then you just go back down. You don't need much weight at all. I kind of stumbled on this exercise, and I've been trying different glute exercises, and this one has been one of my favorites by far because you get constant tension from the bottom to the top, where a lot of other exercises you only get half that range of motion. Man, just body weight with the normal barbell, you feel such a crazy pump. It's awesome. Glutes are pretty roasted from butt squats and those one-legged deadlifts. Next, we're just gonna do some Smith squats. On this, I'm gonna keep the tempo very long on the negatives, and I'm also gonna go really deep as far as I can comfortably. My Smith machine starts to bind when I go really low and start to add quite a bit of weight on here. So a way that I can remedy that and make lighter weight heavier is making the tempo way longer. So if you wanna make it way harder, just go really, really slow on the way down, and then I'll explode on the way up, and then I'll repeat. Oh man, those destroy your legs. Especially with already hitting glutes and hams. Just really helps you focus on your quads because those are the only muscles that are really available. Whew. If you've never tried those super negatives on a squat, give them a shot. They are a total ball buster. My legs were shaking so bad after just that exercise. Next, we're gonna do a Smith machine lying leg press. And this is something you can do with no additional equipment, where you just lay down and you put your heels on the bar. But this is a DIY gym, so I'm gonna modify it to the best that I can. First thing I'm gonna do is I attached a chain around this so this won't rotate, and if it does, it's very minor. And then I'm gonna upgrade this with a foot plate. And if you've never seen this before, I'll leave a link in the description of how to build it. It was super easy. It actually didn't cost me a thing, just because I've got spare wood laying around. And I've had this thing for about 2 years, and I've loaded it up with as much weight as I feel is comfortable for the Smith machine. And it's never shown any damage or wearing or cracking or anything like that. On the other side, you can see it's just a piece of wood, 2x4s, and a slot for the bar to go through. And then I've just got some tie downs that'll just hold it onto it. And then what I'll do is I'll just tie this just so they're not in my face when I'm working. And on this side, just got some duct tape, a little anti-slip technology. So I'll just make sure it's roughly in the middle. And then getting into position is pretty easy. I use the stoppers at the lowest point of where I'll go with the press. And then you just want to slide in a little bit. This is something that's very customizable to your own flexibility and whatever feels good for you. So wherever you put your hips, and then you can put your feet wherever you like. Good rule of thumb is make sure that your spine is not off of the ground. So if this is too low for you, you can absolutely raise it. And then you can see that this does move around, but when you're pushing, it just goes right with the natural motion. As long as you keep your feet in the middle of the bar. I've never had any close calls, never had my feet slip. It's been one of my favorite pieces of equipment. And then getting out, as easy as that. I'll just use this to kind of lift me up. And that's about it. All right, third and final exercise for quads. What we're gonna do are sissy squats. And yeah, this can be used on a lot of different pieces of equipment, but since we're still touching the Smith machine, I'm still counting it. If you've never done sissy squats before, it's very important to go down slow because this is a big stretching movement, and depending on how your knees are, if they don't feel comfortable doing this, then just don't do it. Don't force anything. The only uncomfortable and pain that you're supposed to feel is going to be in your muscles. Now, best way that I feel a stretch is I'll be pushing my hips forward, basically squeezing my glutes to be driving my hips forward the whole time as I'm going down, because if you don't, it'll basically turn into like a squat, and we don't want that. What we want is to keep your hips forward and just slowly go down until whatever comfortable depth works for you. Your heels will start to lift off the ground. Oof. And then drive back up. Biggest thing I stress is just be under complete control going down. Last thing you want to do is overstretch your knee on something as silly as this. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope this was fun and you did enjoy it, that you can definitely get a full leg workout with just one piece of equipment. So if you're in the gym and it's busy and there's a Smith machine open, then heck, you've got everything you need right there. If you like the idea of getting a full workout around one single piece of equipment, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking of some different ideas to do in the future and think that would be a lot of fun. If you like the video, don't forget to like, please share and subscribe. It helps get this information out and shares it with everyone, and it helps us all get better together. And don't forget to tune in next time for more Sale Bill.